You guys, I am 3 days away from a backpack elk hunt here in Idaho. Got some guys from SIG coming out on this elk hunt. It's gonna be kind of a mix, a hybrid hunt, a base camp and a backpacking trip. We're gonna spend at least 4 nights out backpacking into where I killed my big bull a few years ago. And then luckily we got my dad on call. If we shoot some stuff down there, he'll bring some horses up. But I wanted to kind of do a pack dump and a layering system of what I wear or what I'm going to wear on this trip. Temps are gonna be upper teens to mid 40s, mid 50s, depending on the day, some snow. We're gonna get some weather. So I've got, this is the Brooks 7000 from Eberly stock bag on the mod frame. It is a big bag and it looks like I've got a ton of stuff in there, and it is because I do, but a lot of the stuff I have in there isn't extremely heavy, it's just bulky. So like in the very bottom here, I'll show you guys, I've got my 0 degree sleeping bag. I wanna have a sleeping bag that I'm not gonna get cold in. So I'm gonna pack that so it's bulky, but it actually doesn't weigh a lot. So I'm gonna go break the backpack down and we'll get into the layering part of everything when we get into some of the gear that I have in here for clothing. We'll start off from the E-Mod lid up here on top. I've got on this outside pocket, I kind of keep things pretty accessible that I'm gonna be used quite a bit. So I've got a beanie, I've got a Dark Energy. This is a battery pack that just is the MagSafe that goes to the back of my phone. I've got a pair of Black Ovis gloves, just the fingerless gloves. This is the merino beanie from Black Ovis. In here, I've kind of got toiletries. I've got some dude wipes, some Clean Freak stuff. I also, in late season, I like to pack just toilet paper because I've had a lot of these dude wipes or anything like that. Wipes freeze up on you when it gets really cold, so I always like to have just some regular toilet paper. Got some Pyro Putty, expecting to build a lot of fires. These are the Pyro Putty Inferno sticks, kind of windproof, waterproof. Have those in this pocket to where I can get to them really easy. Then on the main pocket on the E-Mod lid, I've got, these are some down glassing mittens. So they're Black Ovis, compact, really small, but when you're sitting there in glassing, you can put these on and keep your hands warm, stick your fingers out like that if you need to. But just super lightweight gloves that are super warm with their heat to weight ratio is extremely good. Hall's Defense, I've been sick. I've been fighting like an upper respiratory. I don't even know what it is, but I have some Halls because I've been coughing like crazy. I got another pair. These are my main pair of gloves. These are the Sitka Mountain gloves. I've used and abused these things for a lot of years. Absolutely love these gloves. They're kind of my main gloves. So I've got 3 different pairs of gloves. Lightweight, the main gloves, and then the insulating ones. Dark Energy, another, this is a Poseidon, another battery pack. I like to keep my phone charged, do a lot of phone scoping, all that kind of stuff, have my phone charged and ready to go. And then snacks. So I've got other snacks. I break them into a day. So I break all my snacks into a day. That way I know what I can eat in that day. Just what I like to do. It helps really well, or it works really well for me. I've got tons of stuff from Werner, Hostess. I'm kind of a little kid when it comes to hunting. I love having Twinkies, Ding Dongs, apple pie filler, Werner sour gummy worms, Werner beef slabs, pepperoni sticks. Like I said, I'm kind of like a little kid when it comes to that. Last thing I've got in here is just my titanium spoon for dinners. We are backpacking, so we got freeze-dried meals. Go along to the side here. On this side of the Brooks range bag, I've got my trekking poles. I actually use them a lot more now that I put my Peaks Design, my hands-free camera deal on there. On the side pocket here, I've got my spotting scope. This is the new image stabilized spotting scope from SIG. I've absolutely loved this thing. You don't think you need it on a tripod, but you get that wind chatter. You can put it on the image stabilizing. Works absolutely amazing. A little more compact than their Oscar 8, so I've absolutely loved using this year. So spotting scope for all phone scoping, all that kind of stuff. You got 2 horizontal straps here if you put jackets or anything like that. On the Brooks, you've actually got a bigger pocket on these front 2 pockets. They divided them just because the bag's bigger. So you've got, this is just kind of my necessities. I've got batteries, I've got extra spoon, tenacious tape, an extra contact, Pyro Putty, a lighter, just a bunch of random things in there that if I ever need, I know where they're at. And then in this bottom pocket here, I keep my first aid kit. Pretty simple first aid kit. I've got a tourniquet in here, some wet ones, Band-Aids, butterfly bandages, anything like that. I like to have that readily accessible. Normally I'll go through, you do have the horseshoe pocket here, and you can kind of get to your pack that way. But for this time, I'm going to just use the roll top. That is the one thing with this bag. It is a big bag. It's 7,000 cubic inches, but then you also have this huge snow collar that you can get in, and you can add all sorts of stuff in here. But I keep lighter things on top. We'll get into some of the clothing right now, since I'm going to get into some of my layering items in here. These are the Black Ovis. These are the zip-off merino bottoms. I like to sleep in my merino bottoms. When it's cold, I like to have them on. But then as soon as it gets warm, you can just unzip these and you can take them off without having to take your boots off. Like I said, just a merino bottom. Going along with the bottom half of the body, I'm going to be running the Black Ovis. These are the terrace pants. They're a little heavyweight pant, super comfortable. They've got vents on the side if you do get a little warmer. I love having those vents. Super quiet though. You got a zipper pocket here. This is a kind of just a snap pocket. Then you got your regular hand pockets and like that. But I've ran these since they came out with them last year. Like I said, super quiet, super durable, and love the terrace pants from Black Ovis. This is an Invader Concepts, kind of a collab they did with Black Ovis. This belt is really, really nice. As you can tell, it keeps its shape really well, keeps your pants up. I have no butt, so a belt is a big time necessity for me. Along with the bottoms down there, I've got some gaiters. These are the Hellstone gaiters from Black Ovis. Any of the stuff from Black Ovis, anything on Black Ovis, you guys can use our code Switchback 10. You'll save 10% off. It helps us out also. But yeah, gaiters from Black Ovis, Hellstone. Going to my upper body, I'll be running, this is their new Beaver Creek Merino. Normally I'll wear a lighter weight like the Tuscarora, but on this hunt where it's going to be, I'm expecting cold temps, this is the Beaver Creek Merino, a little heavier weight, and that'll be kind of my base layer. And then going on to next thing here is the Mesa. This is another 100% merino, heavyweight, super, super comfortable, warm. This thing I used it all last year, absolutely loved it, so it's going on this elk trip with me. And then the Cascade vest. Like between the Mesa and the Cascade vest from Black Ovis, I wore these pretty much on every hunt last year in the fall, and it's gonna happen again on this year. So this is the Cascade vest. I love being invested, as Jim would say. I love wearing a vest. Keeps your arms free, your core warm, and the Cascade vest has been awesome, Black Ovis. I've got some Hellstone 2.0 rain pants. Like I said, we are expecting weather. These hardly weigh anything. Keep them in my pack, have them there in case I need them. For sleeping, I got these off Amazon. They're just some down booties, like sleeping bags for your feet. Absolutely have loved these, super cheap, and they've been amazing for when you're sleeping, especially in cold weather. On top here, another cold weather item that I use is the Anchor Point pants. So these are down pants. So they got full zippers on the side. You can put them on when you're sitting and glassing, and they work absolutely amazing for keeping you warm. Sleep in them, anything you need. These are the Anchor Point pants. Love these things. I don't know what I did before I had those pants. Going along with the Anchor Point is another Anchor Point, the Anchor Point jacket. And you guys, normally I have that light green one I've had for years. Still love that one, but they came out with this new midnight camo Anchor Point, so I'll be running it on this hunt. Just time to use another one. That green one still works phenomenal, but got a new one, so gonna be putting that one to work on this hunt. And last thing for clothing in here is the Hellstone 2.0 rain jacket. Use this thing in Alaska when we were up there in Southeast Alaska blacktail hunting. Hellstone 2.0, definite must. I do have some socks in here I'll find right here. I got the heavyweight Black Ovis socks. Like I said, it's going to be cold. We don't know exactly what we're going to be running into out there. Like on all my hunts, crispy Laponias. These things are the Laponia 3s. I've absolutely loved them. They're not insulated, but for some reason my feet stay pretty warm in them. Got super feet on the inside there, the insoles. But crispy Laponia 2s, or 3s, crispy Laponia 3s there. I've had the 2s and the originals, but love those pants, or love those boots. Jetboil Flash, I've had, I think, since they came out. I think they started these in 2009. I got it in like 2010. Still works awesome for cooking meals. black obus sacks. I'm gonna have 2 sets. I've got the elk set and a deer set. I'm gonna have an elk and a deer tag, so I need to have something to take care of both sets of meat. Hopefully I'll be using both these, but elk set, deer set. Getting into food, like I said, these are all my days. So like I said, we're gonna be at 4 days. So I've got 4 baggies of food, all pretty much the same. A lot of Werner in there, Hostess, so some Werner cashews in that one. This is a little, my necessities pouch, got my glasses, contact solution, toothbrush, all that kind of stuff in there. Meals, running peak refuel, got beef pasta marinara, biscuits and gravy, beef stroganoff. So those are my meals for the trip. I've got the Argali Ab Soroka. This is the 4-person tent. Patrick's gonna be with me, so we'll probably be running the stove. So I'll pack the shelter. So I've got the tent there, got a half a floor, and the stakes for the Argali Ab Soroka. We use that thing in Alaska too. We use the Yukon 8-person for everyone to sleep in, and we kept that one for gear, but it worked really well. Excited to take it on this trip. In this little pocket here, I've got, this is my water filtration system. Got a cat-o'-nine filter. This is a drifter hydration bag for dirty water. And then on the inside of my bag, I've got the actual drifter hydration bladder system in here. The hard bladder stays in my pack, able to fill my bladder without having to take everything out. It's got the insulated tube here, which is a must for these late season hunts. But love that drip hydration system, and we're gonna be using it on this hunt. Got my kill kit here, got some paracord, got a Title knife, got a bunch of blades in there, some gloves. Pretty simple. Hopefully have to be using this quite a few times on this trip. New this year is this is the Thermarest Neoloft. I am a side sleeper. I hate not getting a good night's rest. So this is the Thermarest Neoloft. Little bigger than like my Climate or anything like that, but I think this one's like 4.5 inches. Got a really good R value rating. I don't skimp when it comes to sleeping. If you don't get rest, it's hard to hunt. So I've got this is like the Thermarest Neoloft. And then down in the very bottom, I'll just unzip and show you guys, so I'll take it out of there. I've got my 0 degree bag. And like I said, it takes up a lot of room. It's pretty much the bottom third of this bag, and that is what's in the bottom of this bag. But 0 degrees, super comfortable, I mean, it's a long and wide, so super roomy. And that is gonna be my sleep system. On the side here, we have got the Sawtooth. This is the 6.5 PRC. I actually just got done shooting. Shot the 7 PRC, it shot good. Shot the 6.5 PRC, shot really good. The 6.5 PRC is just a little shorter barrel, a little lighter than the 7 PRC, so we're gonna take this in there. This is the Everly Stock Impact, protects the scope, protects the muzzle. This compact system right here, like I said, we use in Alaska, absolutely amazing. This is the Sawtooth from Sig Sauer, the 6.5 PRC, and it is what's gonna be in there. We're gonna have the 7 PRC back at our base camp too. On the bottom here, just got my glassing pad. I just used one of those cheap foam pads that I cut up. On the side pocket here, I've got phone scope adapters. So I've got for my Zulu 6 binoculars, and I think that's for the Oscar 8. So I got some different adapters there. Side pocket, got my InReach. I'm still running. This is like the DeLorme, like the OG InReach. Still works really well, so using that. And then I've got my Pyro Putty headlamp. This thing's been awesome. Use it in Alaska, super bright. I really enjoyed that from Pyro Putty. And then in here, I've just got just an extra camera battery that I like to have on my side. This is the pump for the drifter hydration, able to pump up and pressurize that tank and squirt water into my jet boil or anything like that. So that's what I keep on my side pocket. That's everything in the pack. Underneath here that I covered up, I've got the Everly Stock Recon bino harness. I'm running the SIG 8K rangefinder. Been working phenomenally. Tells you, it gives you so much data. It's insane. On the front pocket here, I've got my lens cleaner, some elk reeds, my tags. I've got 3 6.5 PRC bullets in here. Got some chapstick, got an Allen wrench for my tripod legs, a little bit of everything in there. I've got actually a dude wipe in there as well in case you ever get separated from your backpack. Side pocket here I've got, this is the Recon, this is the bino cover, so it's the waterproof rain cover for this Recon. Then I've got some eye drops, wear contacts, so it's nice to have those in case eyes get dried out. Phone scope adapter for the new phone scope for the carbon, and then at the very bottom here is my backup headlamp. This is a Nebo, super lightweight little headlamp. It's nice to have an extra just to have in case. And then last thing in here, got the new Zulu 6 HDX Pros. Absolutely love these with 50mm objective. The Omni scan, everything about them I've really loved. Image stabilized, like I said, for how many years. As soon as I got image stabilized binoculars, I can't use any other binoculars. But the Recon Bino harness, this is what it's going to be for, like I said, a 4-day backpack elk hunt in some nasty country. We are going to have a base camp, so we'll have more stuff there that I'll leave. But this is what will keep me alive. Got everything from insulating layers to waterproof layers. Everything that I feel comfortable. Like I feel really comfortable in this setup as far as layering system, backpack system, gun, everything. So hopefully here in a few days we'll be in elk country. We got, like I said, it's going to be over a week long, 4 days backpacking, and hopefully we'll get something knocked down and get deer, elk, wolf, mountain lion, bear, a little bit of everything. So if you guys have any questions on this, leave a comment down below. Anything from Everly Stock, you can use our code Switchback, save 10%. Everything from blackovis.com, you can use our code Switchback 10, you'll save 10%. Werner, Switchback 10, you'll save 10%. Phone scope. Yeah, if you guys have any comments, if I'm missing anything, if you guys see something that you think I need to add to this kit, let me know. Yeah, I'm gonna get this all wrapped up and get ready to go on this elk hunt.